8 o'clock on a Sunday. A regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, you are, aren't you? And you got us feeling all right. Give me some hearts, come on. Now, John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets me my drinks for free. And he's quick with a joke, or he'll light up your smoke. But there's some place that he'd rather be. Oh, Mr. John, I believe this is killing me. As a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. You better be. You got us feeling all right. We got a great evening. Great evening for you tonight. Well, it's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday. And the manager, she gives me a kind of smile. Cause she knows that it's me. Let's sing together. Cause she knows that it's me. Come on, a bit louder. Cause she knows that it's me they've been coming to see, to forget about life for a while. Oh, and the piano sounds like a carnival, and the microphone, it smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, man, what are you doing here? La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. You've got us feeling all right. There's only a certain amount of breath even a man like me has. Well, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Nice
Welcome. So lovely to see you. One lady said this was her best night of the week. And actually, I think it's ours as well. It's our best night
I think
of
you
the
need
week.
to get out a bit more. That's
No,
yes, you
you
haven't. You
can't.
can't get out a bit more. She's filled it to the top tonight, so
Just like to keep him on
do you
his
need
toes.
to keep him on my toes? I'll be kept in the bathroom all night. I have no idea what you're talking about. Anyway,
A couple of people have asked where your high-vis jacket is tonight. And
Well,
several
do you
people
want
have
it?
noticed, thankfully, that you haven't got your shorts on tonight.
I haven't got my shorts on, and can I just point out I've shaved.
And I've cut his hair without getting it wrong
Cut my
this
hair
time.
with the razor. She did. It was, and I think I look quite smart, and I look quite tasty, if I'm honest. Now, we've got a packed show for you tonight,
As usual.
as always. And this one,
This one is particularly...
Wait a minute. It's very amusing. I was brought up on this stuff. My dad's old Ford Popular, and his record player, the first record player he got. And they got all the spiritual songs, that Jim Reeves ever recorded. And what I got is I went out and I bought a CD, and it said Jim Reeves' Greatest Hits. Okay? Jim Reeves' Greatest Hits. So you think, 12 or 13 on each side. On each CD, and there were 3 CDs, there were at least 25 songs, because each one of them was only around about 1 minute and 30 seconds maximum.
It was interminable.
You can't even say interminable, that one. It was very long.
It was very long.
But I've always loved Jim Reeves' voice. You weren't brought up on him at all, were you?
I wasn't. No, I was brought up on Glenn Miller.
They were singing songs like, "One night a sleepy little boy knelt beside my bed. He looked into my eyes, and this is what he said. Daddy, my daddy, you've taught me lots today. So daddy, my daddy, teach me how to pray." I had to turn and leave his room, and he began to cry. I didn't want my boy to know, but so did I. His best pal had forsaken him, but what was there to say? His daddy, had forgotten how to pray. Daddy, my daddy, teach me how to pray. On the end of the record, I was weeping. I was sitting there. Oh God. It was so emotional.
Can I just point out that you've said it's a packed programme and you've already sung a song that wasn't on the list?
Well, this one is for...
This one is for Carol Evans, and for your dear dad who loves Jim Reeves. So hopefully you are watching, and that he will enjoy it as well.
What's his name?
I don't know.
If you have the name, send it in.
Yeah, let me know.
And actually, it's a very appropriate song. Welcome to my world. Won't you come on here? Miracles, I guess, happen now and then. Step into my heart. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to my world, built with you in mind. Knock, the door will be open. Seek, and you will find. Ask, and you'll be given the key to this world of mine. I'll be waiting here with my arms unfurled. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world, waiting just for you. Welcome to my Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low, and you can tell your friend there with you, he'll have to go. Whisper to me, tell me, do you love me true? Or is he holding you the way I do? Though love is blind, make up your mind, I've got to know. Should I hang up, or will you tell him he'll have to go? You can't say those words I wanna hear while you're with another man. Do you want me? Answer yes or no, darling, I will understand. Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone. Let's pretend that we're together all alone. I'll tell the man to turn the jukebox way down low, and you can tell your friend there with you. All sing it together. He'll have to go. Country and Western, it's so depressing, isn't it? Oh, boy. I'm not going to start on the routine. I'm not.
Oh, good.
No, I haven't got time.
I haven't got time. Move on.
I mean, I don't know if I can sing this one over. I sneezed yesterday. I tell everybody, I sneezed.
Somebody asked how you were doing after all the sneezing.
Well, yeah, you don't... Well, because anybody got the answer? Because yesterday I asked the question, and one person, P, and Rachel and P, wrote and said, that's nonsense, or words to that effect.
I know that you can train yourself
to sneeze with your eyes open. My point is that if I sneezed, right, with my eyes open, then I felt my eyes would pop out.
Well, can I just point out that you don't sneeze with a sort of achoo. You do
Speaks
usually...
the woman who frightens the dogs.
Well, I only do one sneeze.
Oh.
But you do a minimum of 6 or 7.
Just
in quick succession. Achoo! Achoo!
There were 9.
And there were 9 in the car.
And I lost my voice. I lost my voice. It was 2 days ago. I literally lost my voice. Which is why, with hay fever, and when I was singing opera, you can't have this. Can you hear it? It's slightly on the edge of the voice.
Slightly husky.
And
Sounds very sexy, though, darling.
Yeah, well, sexy doesn't get you opera work. It gets you fired, actually. So you always tried not to sneeze, and hay fever treatments. I've not taken many actually this year.
No,
I've
you haven't.
not. So I didn't do the spraying up the nose and the tablets and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, this one I did this about a month ago, and I have no idea. I don't think this is going to be on the Lockdown album. I mean, I've recorded it, but depends what we get. Old Man River, that old man river, you must know something. Don't say nothing. It just keeps rolling. Keeps on rolling along. We don't plant potatoes. Don't plant cotton. Them that plants them is soon forgotten. All that old man river just keeps rolling along. Strain, body all aching, and rags of pain. Tote that barge, lift that bale, you get a little drunk, and you land in chains. Weary and sick of trying, I'm tired of living, and I'm scared of dying. Oh, that old man river, he just keeps rolling along. Keeps rolling,
Bravo, bravo.
Indifference.
No,
Totally indifference.
no, they all love that. Bravo, bravo.
I do notice, as I get older, for those of you who are singers, your vocal folds change, and as you get older, these things here, people say to me, "I can't sing as easily as I did," and it's true. You can't go as high often. Now I see some people, and they have absolutely no problem singing at all, and there are other people that do, and I've noticed that my voice has got lower in general.
Much
lower,
much higher. Much lower.
I heard a friend of mine, Mark Newman, he sent me a
that was amazing, actually,
30 years ago.
Yeah.
And that he had on cassette, and it was 30 years ago. We had no money, and we gave out cassettes.
We had no money. So basically, we did a little recording of about 10 or 12 songs.
Yeah.
And
some operatic,
called especially for you, and we did copies of the cassettes, and I hand wrote all the or the notes and things.
And to say it's a variable quality, qualities.
But it was lovely to hear your voice 30 years ago. Actually.
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, some of it had a little bleat when I didn't realise that's what it sounded like. But there we are. That's as it was 30 years ago. And to about 25 years ago, I recorded this song. And David Goodwin, who's out there tonight watching, he asked for this song.
Okay.
And this song actually was recorded on that very first album, which was
in a different
mood.
Which we don't
sold
sell
thousands, but from that I got the first recording with what is now essential, and 14 albums later, here we are. Well, actually, we counted a lot more than that.
Yes, and with the lockdown album, there'll be another one.
Yes, that's right. So another one coming that will be your album. But that's another thing. We'll talk about that in a second. So let the Son of God enfold you.
This
was
was
an old
requested by
song.
David Goodwin, but I thought also Karen Spicer, you've had a difficult week. You've lost someone that you're very close to. So I thought this might be a nice one for you this week as well. And anyone else who's had some sadness this week. I know that Zena has also lost someone. So this one's for all of you.
Oh, let the Son of God enfold you with His Spirit and His love. Let Him fill your heart and satisfy your soul. Oh, let Him have the things that hold you, and His Spirit like a dove will descend upon your life and make you whole. Jesus, oh Jesus, come and fill your lamp. Jesus, oh Jesus, come and fill your lamp. Oh, come and sing this song with gladness as your hearts are filled with joy. Lift your hands in sweet surrender to His name. Oh, give Him all your tears of sadness. Give Him all your years of pain, and you'll enter into life in Jesus' name. strangely enough, I did to the memory of the fact that Linda King used to love that song.
She did.
Remember
she
that?
Did, I did. Yeah, she used to ask for that one a lot.
That's for her as well.
Yes, a lot of people enjoyed that. Not heard it for years and years, but
Yes.
they enjoyed it very much. She's good. So are we...
Barbados story, I think.
Oh, right, okay. So we're not doing Oh Love the Will Not Let Me Go.
No.
Okay. Well, in which case...
No. Hold on. Let's do a verse.
Can I just say,
yes.
This is for Michael Cooper. I thought that you might like this one. Oh Love That Will Not Let Me Go. We know that you're going through a difficult time at the moment. And again, for anyone else who is struggling with ill health and those kind of things, this one is for you.
Val and Richard Donahue just spoke to them today. Val prayed a beautiful prayer this morning that we heard, and she said to pray for things that are necessary, not things that aren't necessary. I love that. That will not let me go. I rest my weary soul in thee. I give thee back the life I owe, that in thine ocean depths flow may reach a full be, may reach a full follows all my way. I yield my flickering torch to thee. My heart restores its borrowed ray, that in thy sunshine's blaze this day may brighter fairer be, may brighter fairer be. Perfect love, unchanging love, oh love that will not let me go. Oh perfect love, unchanging love, oh love that never lets me go. Oh joy that seekest me through pain, I cannot close my heart to thee. I trace the rainbow through the rain, and feel the promise is not vain, that morn shall cheerless be, that morn shall cheerless be. Oh perfect love, unchanging love, oh love that will not let me go. Oh perfect love, unchanging love, oh love that never lets me go. That's the one I wrote the tune, rewrote the tune to. Now, my voice is not being what it's behaving itself very well today, as you can hear, and so I'm going to just, we've got other things happening. So, I'm going to tell the story. Have a little drink of water. Have the vocals on. Well, This is a bit of a horror story. You know when you have those dreams where nothing goes right, but everything worse goes wrong. I had one the other day. Where I was in a car inexplicably. Haven't you been having weird dreams? It's just been so weird. So many people have been saying this. Their dreams have been very weird. Anyway, this dream was coming down a hill with my dad in the back of the car, Sue in the back of the car. I can't remember the third person. Who was the third person? I can't remember. Somebody else. But all important people in my life. And I got to the top of this hill, and it was a hill like this, and there was nowhere to reverse. So stupidly, I put it into reverse, and it started going down the hill. I thought I'd better put the brakes on. And the brakes failed, and then the handbrake failed, and I'm saying, it won't stop. And I woke up with saying out loud, it won't stop. Well, can anybody interpret my dreams? Can you be Joseph for me? Anyway, that's the story. It's a story, and it's in my first. Is it the first book?
I think so.
Anyway, those of you, if I say Barbados, those of you who've got the books. Those of you who haven't, get the book because it will give more detail, and I can only give a little detail. So I've been asked to do an opera by the guy who was the drummer for the Police, Stuart Copeland. Remember the band, the Police, Sting, all that there. And he'd written a two-hander, and I was asked to be one of the two hands. And it was in Barbados at the Barbados Festival. Well, you couldn't believe this was the gig of the whole year, you know. And so I turned up and flew in, learnt this piece, and they said to me, "Look, it's not going to be too bad. You'll be fine. You'll rehearse for 2 hours a day. You'll be there for 2 weeks, and you'll only have to do 2 performances. That's it." And it wasn't a lot of money, but at that time, I mean, this is a long time ago. At that time, I thought, well, you know, nothing to lose. Working with an interesting director, that's what I thought at the time. And they said, okay. And it was called The Cask of Amontillado. And actually, it was quite a good piece. And it was based on the Edgar Allan Poe story of being trapped down in a cellar. And I was the one trapped in the cellar, going to rot, you know, because I had been deceitful and all the rest of it. So anyway, got to Barbados, and it's put me up. We drove in to Barbados, and they put me up in this hotel right at St. James's, right on the front. I mean, it was gorgeous, just stunning, right on the beachfront. And so I thought, this can't be bad. I arrived at 4 o'clock, see the sun going down, and it was in the days before mobile phones were sending pictures, so I didn't send it. I thought it best not to send a picture home, if you understand what I mean. And Sue was at home looking after the 3 boys as a single mum, as usual. So I looked at the score and I thought, well, tomorrow morning, first thing, we'll start rehearsing. And we started rehearsing, and I don't care anymore. The director was terrible in terms of he was not himself. And he was on the wacky-backy, and so that's the way it was. So we had to rehearse with this quite difficult man. And eventually, but for 2 hours a day, I thought, I don't care. I'm there. I'll go in the sea, out of the sea. I'll rehearse for 2 hours, get back in the sea, and then and I'll have dinner in the open air. I'll be eating dolphin the first night. I was eating flipper. It was just all kinds of wrong. And I'm thinking, this is lovely. What a great life. And around about day 8 of a 14-day stay, I got a call from my agent, and she phoned up in this hotel. And of course, I didn't have phones in my room. It was the hotel reception. And this very big West Indian woman, she came knocking on my door, and it was something like 8 o'clock in the morning. She said, "There's somebody on the phone for you. Get it now." So I said, well, all right. And she said, "Tell your friends not to stop phoning here at this ridiculous hour in the morning." So I thought, all right. So I took the phone call, and it was my agent. And my agent said, "Look," she said, "this is just a terrible situation, but Covent Garden have just been on the phone, And there's a very, very difficult opera called Gawain and the Green Knight, which is a 12th tone. It means all that type of opera. Okay, story of Gawain and the Green Knight. Are you interested in the position of covering, understudying? Now, this was many, many years before I became well known, and understudying the role of the Green Knight. I think it was right. Yes, it was. And he goes off at the end with his head underneath his arm. And it's a massive role. And I said, well, look, I'm in Barbados at the moment, Helen, as you know. So when does it open? She said, next Tuesday. I said, well, obviously not then. I can't do it. And I said, anyway, I don't know it. Of course I don't know it. Nobody knows it. Only the guy. It's just been written. It's just been written. And it was impossible. And the guy, as I found out subsequently, took 6 months to learn it. So I thought, okay. I said, no, obviously not. I can't do it. And if it starts next Tuesday, okay. She says, fine. I get a call later in the day saying, Covent Garden have come back. They're desperate. They need something. They'll pay you anything you ask. Avarice, you see, it's greed is a very potent thing. So I said, oh, well, okay. And times were hard in those days. And we had a tax bill coming. And I quoted some ridiculous figure. I said, well, ask them for this. Thousands of pounds. And I knew they'd say no. And she came back within half an hour and she said, they said yes.
We should have known.
And I was warned by the director there, by the director in Barbados. He said, don't do it, John. He said, I worked as a staff producer. Don't do it. Do not do it. I said, well, look at this. They've given me guarantees. I don't have to go in for rehearsal when I get back. I'm cutting a very long story short. I don't have to even learn it because the guy who's doing it is cast iron, never been off. John Tomlinson, never been off, never involved in anything. And so I said, oh, well, John Tom, yeah, okay. Very famous name. I won't. Okay, all right then. I'll do it. Could you send me some of the music? And this is true. They sent me the music by fax in those days, fax. And it came on a roll in those days, if you remember. And, well, there was a pounding on the door. I tell you not to tell all your friends to ring here. And now look at this. 30 pages of fax. What are you doing? So I thought, I'm so sorry. Anyway, I said, have you got a pair of scissors so I can cut it up? So eventually I cut these 30 pages up. And the music was so difficult that I spent the first half an hour turning it round and round because I didn't know which way it was up. That's how difficult it was. Now, those of you who know music understand. Well, after 30 pages of this, and that was just a smidgen of what you had to sing. And what do I say? Well, I suppose I've said yes now. When I get back, she said, well, when you get back, on the day you get back, you've got to fly, go from at the airport, Heathrow, go straight to Covent Garden and pick up the 2 schools. She said, just show Willing, that's all they need you to show. Willing, just turn up. So on that day, turn up, and it was the dress rehearsal before. So whatever that was, if I said Tuesday, but it was the dress rehearsal I was turning up to on that Tuesday. And it was opening in 3 days, 2 days. It's massive, huge orchestra, impossible. And I turned up and they all said, oh, hello, Jonathan, hello. And John Tom Big, he said, don't worry. He said, you'll never learn it. He said, it took me months to learn it. The pianist saying, nobody can learn it. Anyway, I just thought, have a look. 30 minutes, I took 30 minutes to look at it with a pianist. We got through 4 bars. Yeah, I think it was 4, possibly even to a page. A page
I think you did
of music.
a page.
A page of music, which represented less than 10, 15, 20 seconds. It was impossible. So the guy said, don't worry, just folded it, and he said, just go home and relax. Anyway, they'd given me a day off on various performances. They were that sure. And I had a concert in Plymouth.
Plymouth, one-man show in Plymouth.
One-man show. I was just starting them. I had a one-man show in Plymouth. And I got in the car, my old Peugeot 505, and I had a car phone. We had invested in a car phone, one of the very first car phones. And I'm probably about half an hour outside Plymouth, so 3.5 hours, 4 hours down. And I'm on the A39, and I get a call, and Sue says, "Stop the car! Stop the car!" I said, "What?" I thought somebody died, one of the kids, something. I said, "What?" Something. She said, "It's a lot worse than that."
I did not.
No, but it sounds good. It's apocryphal. Let me tell my story. Let me exaggerate a little bit.
Go on.
And so she said, "Stop the car." She did say, "Stop the car. Pull the car over." So I pulled the car over. She said, "You're on." I said, "I'm on what?" She said, "You're on tonight."
In Covent Garden.
At Covent Garden. And I said, "What do you mean I'm on? I have never looked at the score. I don't know the first 10 bars. I don't know it at all. I've not even looked at it from the day I got it. Nothing." And my agent had been very helpful in saying, she said, "Oh, don't worry, you'll be fine." I said, "But Helen, I don't know it at all." And I thought, and they said all the stuff, the guarantees, everything else, they said, "Well, you don't have to be, you don't have to do it, all rubbish." I was on the sheet as the understudy, and to keep the curtain up and the insurance cover, I had to turn up. They'd already phoned ahead and cancelled on the radio. They'd done it all. They'd done it all. They cancelled the concert that I was going to, and that I had to turn round. This was by now 2:00. The idea would be that I'll stop and get the music from here, in the house here. It was right in this room. And I can see it now, 2 green copies of score.
Yeah, and you had to pick up a suit.
I had to pick up a DJ.
They wanted you to stand at the side
They
of the
wanted me to
stage.
stand at the side of the stage and sing if he went off, if he was ill. Well, I thought, that's it, I'm dead, I'm finished. My career is at an end. Before it's even begun, it's finished, done. And all the way back, I was just thinking, oh, that's it. No, thank you, cheers, thanks to the agent. Thank you, everybody. Sue didn't know what to say to me. She had nothing to say.
I just had everyone praying that I could think of.
And so when I got to Covent Garden, I remember parking on the double yellow lines.
You didn't care, did you?
I didn't care. By then I thought my life is over anyway, so they're going to kill me out there. So I might as well leave the car in Floral Street on double yellow lines. Just parked it up, left it there, abandoned it actually. And I walked in and I said to the stage door, I said, I'm here. And it was the stage manager, and Stella, she came to me, she said, "Thank you so much for turning up, Jonathan." She was such a delightful woman. She said, "Thank you for making such a gallant effort." She said, "I hope you don't mind, but John's decided he wants to see if he can go on." And I said, no, it's fine. Just whatever you want. Yes, fine, good. And I said, "Can I go home now?" They said, "I'm afraid not. What we want you to do," the doctor has said he's been involved, and the thing was, John had been involved in a car accident coming back from Leeds, where his home is, on the M1, and somebody had died in the accident. And so the doctor felt he would go into shock at any moment, and at any moment he could just go blank. And at that moment, they want me to step on. This is not a joke, this is absolutely serious. Step on from the side of the stage and just take over.
A horrible day.
I mean, by now I'm going, "Oh, you're joking, really?" So I stood on the stage right, just off, so you couldn't see me. And there was a conductor standing in front of me, Mark Packwood, and he was conducting, going 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, like this. And then suddenly he's... I'm sweating. I'm standing there losing weight. I must have lost a stone just being there. And Mark suddenly looked at him on the stage, looked at me, he said, "He's looking a bit peaky."
Oh dear.
We managed to get to the end of Act 1. And I just slumped, right? Because the tension was just unbearable. I'm sure that's when I got diabetes. I'm going to put it down to that time. The stress was unbelievable. And so I said, "Well, look, he's got to the end of Act 1. Can I go?" He said, "No, I'm afraid that the management want you to stay. And we're going to put you up in the raw box on the right-hand side of the theatre. And actually, yes, it's the right-hand side as I'm looking out." And they said, "Basically, we've got a spot on that box with a music stand. And if he suddenly should blank, you're to stand up and sing it in from there." I think about it now, I'm feeling slightly sick.
Was it?
It wasn't funny.
is now,
And
but wasn't then.
at the end of it, Peter Castanet, who was the casting director, at the end of it, he sung his last note, walked off with his head underneath his shoulder, his arms. And I just went, oh. And Peter Castanet came and he said, "Thank you so much, Jonathan." And he said, "This is very good of you." I don't know why he suddenly become Russian. He's German. Like, why you got? Anyway, he said, "It's very good of you to come and do this for us. We will not forget this." I said, "No, nor will I." And he said, "I suppose it's a good time to tell you that we were taking it live for Radio 3 tonight." So, the lesson there, friends, is do not allow greed and avarice to be your guide. All right? Now, I'm going to sing a song, and it's going to be, I think actually we sing our song. Did you enjoy it? But did they enjoy Let the Son of God Enfold You?
They did. They loved it.
No, not that one. I Love It Will Not Let Me Go.
And they love that one too.
And did they like the story? Were they horrified?
They're all horrified.
They've all gone to the toilet now, haven't they?
They're all laughing, but are horrified.
Yeah. Can I say, it's all right for you to laugh.
Right. Can I just dedicate this one to everyone who has a birthday this week? There are a few of you. You've got Angela tomorrow, you've got Christine on Tuesday, and also Teresa, you have a special birthday this week. Now, Teresa Payne, we met when we used to go and do the Detling festival, and bless her, at the end of our evening, we would go into the kitchen and she would always provide us with some kind of packed lunch tea thing for us to eat in the car going home, and she did the most wonderful egg mayonnaise sandwiches.
Egg mayonnaise, they're still in my memory.
They were lovely. So Teresa, remember you, we thank you. Have a wonderful special birthday on Tuesday, whatever date, whatever.
So many happy memories.
So many.
Detling as well. When you're down and troubled and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. Come on with me, come on, everybody sing. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together now and call my name out loud, and soon I'll be knocking at your door. Let's sing it last time, come on. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, sing the next one. You've got a friend. I will sing the next bit, that next bit. Oh, darling, you've got a friend. You've got a friend. Last time. Come on, see. Last time. Come on. You've got a friend.
Excellent. Now, lots of you wrote in telling us where you're watching this from, and Rachel and Claire, well, particularly Rachel, has worked very, very hard. And here we are about to show you the definitive version of the map during lockdown. And we had, now let me get these figures right, 244 unique places represented and a total of 382 responses. I know that a lot of you won't have responded, and so your places won't be on the map, but I think that's an incredible number.
Incredible, and that's
of
round the world
friends that we have watching round the world. Yeah. So we would like to just show you the definitive version, the final version of the map during lockdown.
Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let us receive a King. Let every heart prepare His room. And heaven and nature sing, 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 and heaven and nature sing. Joy, joy, sing it to me. People get ready for the train to come. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel hum. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. People get ready, the train to Jordan, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Faith is the key, open the doors and borders. There's room for all among the loved and lost. Well, there ain't no room for the hopeless sinner who's heart of mankind just to save his own soul. Have pity on them whose chances are thinner, for there's no hiding place from the kingdom throne. Oh, people get ready for the train a-coming. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. You don't need no You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. People get ready for the train a-coming. You don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Here is love, vast as the ocean, loving kindness as the flood. When the Prince of Life a ransom shed for us his precious blood. Who his love will not remember, who can cease to sing his praise. He can never be forgotten throughout his eternal days. On the mount of crucifixion, fountains open deep and wide. Through the floodgates of God's mercy flowed a vast and gracious tide. Come on now. Grace and love like mighty rivers flowed incessant from above, and hymns of peace and perfect justice is the guilty world with love. Come on, play it. Howdy, folks. How you doing? I just shipped in a little piano player. He's learning fast. Open that window soon, let everybody hear it. Because we're here to enjoy. Now, that was great. Did you enjoy that?
That was lovely.
Mark, pick up the microphone. Mark Edwards, legend, pianist, more importantly, great friend.
Need you saying more?
Need you saying what? Well, actually, you can't imagine what a joy it's been.
List of things to say.
Yeah, I have. But I've finished them now, so be quiet. It's been a long time, hasn't it, since we played with real musicians. You know,
Yeah.
you've been doing some studio work.
I have a little bit last week, but literally, 3 months of bouncing my own ideas off the wall. Yeah, I'm working on my own at home.
Working on your own, but you've been doing arrangements. And Mark, for those of you who don't know, and those of you who got out my albums, many of you have got my albums out there. And hold on, is that there? That's fine. Mark has been on them since I think 2005. Is that about right?
Is it? Yeah, probably
First
something
Probably
like that.
feels
All that matters,
longer,
I
Mark.
think it was.
Sorry?
It probably feels longer.
Yes, it's hard to tell.
They all just go one
eternity,
into the other, don't they? But Mark was introduced to me years ago when we were doing the album, I think, All That Matters. And you can listen to his playing now on all of my CDs. Once you've worked with somebody, you don't want to go back, do you? You find a relationship that works. And over the years, we've just enjoyed being in a studio. We fight sometimes, but very rarely. We get on like, I think actually just musically, but friendship-wise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you found that as an important thing in your life? Not me, friendships.
Well, 100%. I think probably the more you go on in music, the more you realise how much it's about relationship and trust. Yeah. And when you find a great working relationship that's really, really fun and laugh, and you say we fight, we have the odd little disagreement for a few minutes. But what you mean is, that's because you're able to be completely open to say, I don't like this, I like that, and there's no pressures, there's no offence taken, and that's what's really great. Because a lot of times it takes a long time to get to that point with people, because everyone's treading on eggshells, especially when you're sharing ideas and new songs. I think a lot of songwriters like that. They're very bashful about actually, presenting something to somebody else. But the great thing is when you can have that complete trust and that sort of history of relationships. So just becomes all about the music and having fun. And the great people are great music. That's what you want to fill your life with, isn't it? And
I think Sue will tell you when I first came back, and do you remember I came back and I said,
I remember what you said. You
Yes.
said, they're not letting me play the piano on my album anymore.
just a
This is-
long line
this is-
of really
There's
hopeful.
this guy called Mark Edwards, and they think he plays
and
better
he's-
than I do.
and he's-
Well, it's only because I was producing it that I
And
had the power to say that.
but you were the real deal.
No, I wasn't producing that one actually. I was
No, you
just playing
weren't.
on it.
You
Yeah.
were playing on that one. But I was introduced.
Neil
You
was
were
producing
introduced to
it.
me as the real deal, and I only had to hear, and because to be fair, I think actually I said to somebody about we're going to sing a song there, but I said when you in this career, there are people who take the hat. This was from Nashville, by the way. This hat. There are people in the career who I've worked with over many years who are in the circus. If you imagine the music business is a circus, they're really like the people who sell tickets on the doors. They are those people, and everybody is needed. I'm not saying, but the level of talent is that. And I come in, and I'm the guy who's the clown who starts at the beginning. The clowns and get people warmed up. And Mark is the high trapeze act. I've never known the talent, and it's not to work with. You always, and somebody always said to me, work with people who are a lot better than you. Don't work with people who you can dominate. And it actually, because domination doesn't mean anything, and in creative process, it doesn't do anything. And so Mark came in and started playing, and I just went. Now, to say, Mark, you are one of the foremost jazz pianists in the country. You've played at every jazz venue known to man across the country and some of the world. People would know Ronnie Scott's, of course, 606, Jazz Cafe, all these kind of places, big name coaches. you're just about to go start rehearsals with a name that you may know called
Katie Mellower.
Katie Mellower. You know, #1 hit with so many songs, and Mark's the MD and keyboard player.
So
you're not the MD.
She's the MD.
She's okay. Well, you're the
great.
keyboard player.
She's a good MD. Yeah.
So his pedigree. You've done Bruce Forsyth.
Did Brucey? That was a great pleasure.
That great?
That was amazing. Actually, Brucey, what a lovely chap. And
Really?
of course, he always wanted to sing jazz and sing in a big band.
Yeah, and he played the piano so well.
Just a few years before, it's only about 3 years before he died, and Universal, I think it was, offered him a chance to do this jazz record, and it was in Angel Studios, which is a beautiful one of those remaining beautiful studios in London.
It's gorgeous.
With a full big band.
Yes.
Like all the top London kind of session guy at the horn plays.
And you played piano.
I was scared. I was actually scared. But the thing was with but he was so happy because he had this whole band there. It was kind of like a kid in the toy shop. Yeah. But I remember the one little thing I remember was at the end of that one of the days of the session, and he was waiting for a car to get him, and we were just standing in the foyer of this studio, and he just poked his head out the door to see if the car was there. Just steps outside, and there was a lovely old lady. Hello, Bruce, along the other side of the room, and immediately there are people just there. He literally just puts his face on the street, and you realise that level of fame.
Yes.
You can't step on the street. Absolutely everybody knows your face. And I don't know, that struck me, sort of what his
what a
his
privilege
life
to
must
have
be like
worked on that.
Yeah, it was absolutely lovely, because he was a huge Bill Evans fan. Yeah. And in fact, one of the things that we did on the record was a duet that he did Sunday night at the Palladium.
Yes.
He used to host, and then I suppose it was the late 60s or early 70s, and Nat King Cole was on there. And they had a recording of the TV show. Obviously, they still had the tape of it, and
they put it together.
And but all you can really, I don't know if you went the way they used to mix things in those days. It was very much like the voice is very up front.
Yes, very much.
And so they were able to extract the voice and redo the orchestra.
Yes.
So they put this whole big band on it. But it's Nat and Bruce doing a duet of Paper Moon, I think it is.
It's only a paper
and
moon.
I got to play on that. So I effectively traded eight with Nat King Cole.
You see,
Napkin Cole. No, it wasn't Nat King Cole. It was Napkin Cole.
Napkin.
Very
aren't you the funny one tonight?
It from Yarmouth. Yeah.
G minor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's sing a song.
Sorry, I'm ranting on.
No, we want you to rant, but they want to sing. You might know this one. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Come on and fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, oh please be true. Oh, in other words, I love you. song. Let me sing forevermore. Oh, you are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. Oh, in other words, I love you. All right. Okay, that's a good starter. That's very good. I mean, okay. Are they enjoying this?
Oh, they are completely blown away by Mark.
And that's the problem. And that, my friend, is my problem. Okay?
No, these are our homies, and they are a lovely bunch of people. Lovely, lovely bunch of people. And they are just adoring it. They're adoring the fact that we've got a live guest in the room and that you're playing.
And it's real music.
It's lovely to be here.
I mean, I have to say, Mark, it's, I think actually one of my great joys. I said to Sue, one of the things that, we can only express this in musical terms. One of the sadnesses of this lockdown for me has been not being able to play with other musicians. And I mean, I do a one-man show, and that is lonely. When I came down to do it at your church in Eastbourne, we did a song, what was it?
Autumn Leaves.
No, Funny Valentine.
Oh, Funny Valentine. Yeah.
Funny Valentine. And we did just with an upright piano. We didn't really rehearse, not like now. We haven't had the chance to rehearse.
I was going to say, you haven't exactly rehearsed today, have you?
No.
The two of you.
And that's the point about relating. But what I've missed is actually just doing this. Just sitting, playing, riffing. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. It doesn't. It's not about that. It's about actually just playing together. Don't you find that with you've been playing in a studio this week? What have you been doing?
Yeah, well, I have been. I've done a couple of sessions over the last couple of weeks, but I did actually do. I spent a few days last week recording some library music with a trio.
Yes. What's library music for people who don't know that?
So library, it's music for film, TV, for visuals or radio plays or something, kind of stock music that people use in for other production music. But we did a few days in the studio, and then on the final evening we actually did a live gig, which is the first time I played a jazz gig, I think, since January. And which is a really long time to get this music. You kind of need to be playing, so you know it's like.
So you get your fingers moving.
You need to be, playing all the time really. So that was the first time I actually played a sort of improvised
gig. And how did it feel?
It was amazing. Yeah, it was absolutely lovely.
Had you been practicing a lot? Because you don't. I never. This is true, folks. We go to a jazz gig, okay, to Ronnie's or somewhere else, 606 Club, and we're there, and the band. I talk to the band. They've hardly rehearsed. They go, yeah, it's at the top, and it goes, yeah, it's G, and then it goes down, yeah, all right, that's fine. See you on there. And these are some of the most complicated, arrangements. I'm sitting there going, how do they do this? So how do you do it?
Everyone knows the rules, and there's a common repertoire. The American Standard Songbook and all the jazz compositions of the
like we're doing now.
50s and 60s. Yeah, everyone knows those tunes, and they know how to the signals of when somebody's going to take a solo or when you're going to stop, and it's going to be a drum break. And there's also lots of other things that just happen. Having when you do that 5 times a week or 4 or 5 times a week for
and then
35 years. And there's just common practices that it's able. That's part of the joy of that music. You're able to produce something spontaneously which sounds, maybe not to everybody, but it sounds rehearsed.
Yes,
and it sounds as if it's been prepared. And in a way it has, because you spent your whole life preparing to play in that situation.
Because classical musicians will sit out there who can play the piano, and there are very many people out there who can play. But I guarantee you that he just did there was unique to that time. If I asked him to do it right now again, he would do something completely different. And that's what's most disturbing for those of us who played arrangements. And because I played classical music,
you do it yourself,
arrangements. It's you play the arrangement, you play that bar followed by that bar followed by that bar, and you pretty much do what you do every time.
Yeah.
So when you're with Katie Mello, a big band, that kind of thing, it's
very very prescribed and very very rehearsed. But I love that. See, I also
love that as well.
Oh, because I think one of the most important things about music is, when it really, really comes together. On those situations, you have like 2 or 3 weeks rehearsal, and then you go out and do 40 shows.
Yes.
I like doing. If I like the music, I like doing the same thing every night because it gets better, and you go and you kind of
add things.
It goes up and it goes up, and you reach a sort of level of just togetherness and tightness in the band that you can never reach unless you have that kind of prolonged period of time.
Do you remember we did?
So it's very different
when we were on tour.
We
were on tour sometime, and you did recording with us live from All Souls Langham Place, and many people have seen Mark playing the piano on those things. And we did a tour, and it didn't settle for a few weeks. It was a bit, and then we did a gig in the Isle of Wight, and we went to Newport, the theatre in Medina Theatre, and we did this. And the 7 of us played and sung. And I remember just one solo that sticks out in my mind was Raul de Oliveira playing in D major. It was your song, Sue. You know the song we quoted in Nashville. And he played this song and he finished on a top F sharp. And you could have just felt we just extended it. We kept extending it and extending it. And I thought, this is happening. And it's those moments that you live for musically, don't you? That's what you. Why don't we do a? I was going to do. Why don't we do Smile?
Oh yeah.
Smile, because that's quite an interesting one. Give us a kind of an introduction, a little moody introduction. Though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of trying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear, it may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
yes, that hit the spot. And quite a few people are now asking if Mark can play on the Lockdown album. It's all right, folks. It's all right, folks.
Well,
it's already
funny
done.
you should
This is
say
my-
that,
yes.
Sue.
Well, I can't do it from this point because it's they can't see me. But we can talk about the fact that
Can you not see me? Okay.
they can't see me. This is just to say that we are working on the Lockdown album, and we are taking on board what people are suggesting. And our son Matt has taken over executive producer role, which he's doing really, really well. And yes, Mark will be playing.
Really will.
And Jonathan will be singing, and all kinds of exciting ideas are in the mix.
Coming, and we are thinking. I mean, we're gonna really do a number on this, and Mark, of course, is going to be playing on the album.
Excuse me.
Yes.
As long
As
we get the money.
ah,
Can I just point that out?
and that is going to be dependent on you, and it will be. You're going to be your album. But a nice suggestion has come up that actually Mark and we talked about over dinner tonight about getting a track where you get to sing on it. I don't know how we're going to work this out, but that you get to sing. You have to pay for the pleasure to be on an album, but basically what's going to happen is we're going to crowdfund this album, but we need your support. We will be issuing, Matt's going to be putting up a video next week, but Mark is going to be producing with me this album, and it's going to be sensational. And one of the songs we're going to do is a song I did first a long time ago, The Autumn Leaves. Basic jazz standard, this one, if ever there was one.
How do you want to do it?
I don't know.
We do
The
it as
autumn leaves.
Yes, a medium.
Mid-tempo.
Yeah,
Mid-tempo.
slow.
Not too slow.
It's a ballad, yeah. Or do you want to do it like a ballad?
Just you play. I'm going to go with you on this one, and we can go with the arrangement. That's just to show it's live, guys.
You do it like that?
Okay. That's lovely. The autumn leaves begin to fall. The fallen leaves are red and gold. I see your lips, the summer kisses, the sunburned hands I used to know. Since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. Oh, but I miss you most of all, my darling, you. When autumn leaves begin to fall. Bye-bye. Since you went away, well, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song. Oh, but I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves begin to fall. Oh, I miss you most of all, my darling. No, when autumn leaves begin to fall. Oh, begin to fall. Bottom, 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 doodle. They are falling down. they are falling down when autumn leaves begin to fall. I would do one of those, you know what I mean?
Socially,
one of them.
socially distanced.
How about that then? Do we like that one?
Oh yes. They're just loving the evening. They just think
just
it's
a
absolutely
great evening,
fantastic. And why not?
Why not? Can we do? The song that I quite liked was when we did Funny Valentine. Do you remember that? It was a real field track, and you did that kind of. No, you can't remember. Do you remember it? And it was a sensational moment in the show, and it was so overwhelming. And Sue sat there and she tried to record it, but let's do one now. It's really kind of go for the immersion of it.
Yeah.
My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable, yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak? When you open it to speak, are you smart? Don't change your hair for me, not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine, stay. Stay. It's Valentine's Day. Play something. That will do. Is your figure less than Greek? Now, is your mouth just a little bit weak? when you open it to speak. Are you smart? Oh, don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay. Each day it's Valentine's Day. Never repeatable.
And I think what's really lovely is that people are really enjoying the fact that you're both enjoying it so much. I mean, it's it's palpable. Actually, you have to be in this room to know it's absolutely immense. But they're really picking it up in their homes as well. They're just loving the fact that you're both getting such a lot of joy.
Well,
from
can
it.
I say this is a relationship that's now 15 years old, and so when you have a relationship, friendship that long, it's about understanding. We have no idea, and this is true. Okay, we said, well, this is the one we're going to do. We do this one, do this one, do that. But we don't. But this is it. This is as you see it. Is as it's going to happen. And when we record, who you've got some fantastic players lined up. If you help us with this, and get this album on the road, then we've got some fantastic players lined up to do as a trio, and we're going to do things like I'm going to do.
Well, we don't know what we're going to do yet.
We're
still asking for suggestions.
Still asking for suggestions. But one of the things we do, I think this idea about you getting involved, that eventually we'll have a video, which we can put out as well. But you'll be on the Lockdown album as singing possibly something like the chorus "If You Got a Friend," that kind of thing. And if you want to be involved in that, I mean, who's not going to want to be involved? You could say you sung with Jonathan Veira. I know that now you're going to say you sung with Mark Edwards. And you know what? I don't mind. Sue's going to be on it as well. She's going to be singing. We plan to do, hopefully, go peaceful.
Hopefully.
And so the tracks, basically, they cost. Every time that we order a day of studio, it costs hundreds of pounds. It costs thousands of pounds to put this on, to make it, the recording. So if you give more money, we do more tracks. Okay? Simple as that. We put more on. Mark, the time is 25:02. I'm going to sing another. I think.
Is this going to be the last one of you two together?
Well, I'm thinking.
We need a bit of.
You just need a little bit of space.
Well, Rachel just needs a bit of warning.
Okay. I think Nature Boy, and then why don't we do Nature Boy going into His Eyes on the Sparrow?
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't we do that? Okay.
So happens.
And we'll sing it through without.
They have commented on the fact that you have absolutely no music in front of you, and now you've spoilt it by putting a piece of paper.
Has the Sparrow has one of the most unusual key changes ever written, I think. It's very, very clever, very unexpected, and you can never remember what it is. It strikes fear. Because every time this song comes up, it's like, quick, what's it remind me of those? Well, otherwise you come to a complete stop. It's not the sort of thing you can hear by ear very easily.
You can't. And this is... don't put it down, because we just had this moment where we together. Those of you who know me, I've done it in B flat, which is you don't need to know B flat. And every time it comes to going up to B major, I go, I don't think so. Till tonight, and you're here, and you found that piece of paper.
Well, there's a very handy little button on a keyboard, isn't there? Which you've become quite adept at.
Yeah.
The transpose button.
Yes, no. We're real musicians. Yes. Stop it. Anyway, Nature Boy. Let's just go through it and then go do it once. No solo. Okay, let's go through this one. was a boy. D minor. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he wandered very far over land and sea. A little shy, oh, and sad of eye, but very wise was he. Oh, and then one day, a magic day passed my way. Then we spoke of many things, fools and kings. Then he said to me, the greatest thing I've ever heard is how to love and be loved in return. Little break, go on. Oh, and then one day, a magic day, he passed my way. Then we spoke of many things, fools and kings. Then he said to me, you know, the greatest thing you will ever learn is how to love and be loved in return. And return. Oh, this has been the best evening I've had for a long time, I tell you that.
Yeah, and other people feel the same, and they're all saying, how are you going to make it end? We don't want it to end.
I know.
We want it to carry on.
Mark, will you come back?
Oh, of course.
I mean, we've got this. It's a no-brainer. Yeah, every week. I think actually, we didn't make it known that anybody else was coming in. We're all being COVID secure, and we've got windows ventilated so that you know, and so we're being careful. Let's just sing that song that we recorded. I remember. Do you remember?
You have insisted, obviously, that I go into 3 weeks quarantine immediately after.
Yeah, immediately afterwards. 3 weeks quarantine. No. Microphone.
Sorry.
Mark, it's been lovely having you in here. We're going to sing this song and then we're going to have to swap over and then finish. and people will be desperately disappointed. But actually, it's been one of my great. It will stay with me for a long time. This,
me too.
And these sessions, we've got to record this. Yeah. If we don't, what justice is there in the world? These songs we've been wanting to do for years. You remember this conversation we've had about?
Absolutely, yes.
And so the American Songbook, as well as some of the lovely spiritual songs.
Yeah.
So come back. Be blessed. It's been lovely having you.
Well, thank you for having me.
Give my love to your lovely family.
Well, likewise, thank you for having me for the day and a beautiful meal. And it's always fabulous laugh.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
What can I say?
Absolutely.
Play and let's get done.
Beautiful.
Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? Oh, why should my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home? When Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on that little sparrow, and I know He watches. I know He watches. Yes, I know He watches you and me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on that little sparrow, and I know He watches. I know He watches. Yes, I know He watches you and me. Lovely Mark Edwards.
Thank you so much, Mark. People have enjoyed this so much.
Thank you guys. Absolute pleasure.
Can I just dedicate that beautiful song to a number of people? To Carol, who's just about to face the anniversary of losing her husband, which is so difficult. And to Wendy, who I know is also missing her husband after 5 years. And also Sheila. But we sang that for you. So you guys just got up and walked out in the middle of all of that. They can't see me.
Whether that was the right thing to do or not. Sorry, no.
For 1,000 tongues to sing my great Redeemer's praise, the glories of my God and King, the triumphs of His grace, my gracious Master and my God. Assist me to proclaim, to spread through all the earth abroad the honors of thy name. And with our voice we sing our songs of praise, with our hearts we'll worship you for all our Jesus, the name that charms our fears and bids our sorrows cease. 'Tis music in the sinner's ears, life and health and peace. He breaks the power of cancelled sin. He sets the prisoner free. His blood can make the foulest clean. His blood availed for me. And with our voice we sing our songs of praise. With our hearts we'll worship you for all our days. He speaks and listening to His voice, new life the dead receive. The mournful broken hearts rejoice. The humble poor believe. The humble poor believe. And with our voice we sing our songs of praise. With our voice we sing our songs of praise. With our voice we sing our songs of praise. With our hearts we worship you for all our days. Go peaceful in gentleness through the violence of these days. Give freely show tenderness in all your ways.
Through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim. Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame.
God speed you,
God lead you and keep you wrapped around His heart. May you be known
by love. You do this one.
Be righteous, speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies. Show kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes.
God hold you,
Enfold you and keep you wrapped around His heart. May you be known
by love. Thank you, Sue. Well done.
Lovely. And thank you again to Mark and Jonathan for such a wonderful evening. People have enjoyed it so much. Now, lots of excitement about the Lockdown album, and we have got something for you to get involved with. So we've got the suggestion box, which is up. It's in the links. We'll send something out on Facebook, but it's also on the screen here, as you can see. If you've got any thoughts about what you would like to include, then we'd like Jonathan to include, then put your suggestions down. Again, what I would say is just make sure that it's perhaps something that Jonathan's done during the lockdown.
Yes,
that's the whole
please.
point. And if there are other songs that you would like him to do at some point, then by all means suggest them, but in a different way. So if you keep your lockdown album suggestions coming through on that link, then that helps us, and it means that Matt, who is overseeing the whole thing, will know what people have been putting down. So thank you very much for that. For those of you who have been enjoying the CDs and so on, and been wanting to know what we've been singing from or what they've been singing from, I think Travelling Songs is an excellent
it's
CD.
One of the most exciting albums we've made.
If you've enjoyed these two guys here tonight, this is the one that you want, because it's just them, really, isn't it? It's just the two of you sort of really enjoying it with a lot of joy, and some fantastic songs, not least of all His Eyes on the Sparrow, but lots of other wonderful songs. So that's Travelling Songs. The film that you just saw was one of the songs from the Hymns Project. So as you can see, Jonathan playing yet another instrument, the accordion. We're not letting him play that in here though, because it's not enough space for him to fiddle around with it. So that was Over 1,000 was off this one, and
Oh Love That Will Not Let Me Go.
That goes off this one.
That has been a
well.
fantastic big hit.
Here Is Love. You enjoyed the slightly rockier version of Here Is Love, and that is on this album as well. And of course, the music books that go with the Hymns Project 1 and 2 we still have available, and the books. So if you enjoyed Jonathan's scary tale of Barbados, and you would like to read the fuller version, which also involves him being turfed out of his room for a spy. I can't remember now, but I know there was some kind of spy. A detective
who was
kicked him out of his
spying
room.
on somebody who was having an affair.
Okay, well, don't tell them, because they'll have to buy the book to read it.
Got to get it. It's
It's a
hilarious.
very funny story.
And eventually they gave me $100. He kept offering me more and more
What
money.
part of
All right.
don't tell them
Okay,
now?
all right,
Do you
I'm
not
just
understand?
I'm just saying, yeah.
So, if you would like to buy any CDs or books, they're all on our website, www.jonathanveira.com, and the shop will have all the sort of little clips from the CDs so that you can listen to them. Jonathan is very happy to sign anything, so if you're wanting to send a present out to someone, just let us know and we can do that. thank you to those people who have just given to the ministry. That has been such a blessing, and we are so grateful. Thank you so much.
We cannot say enough how much it's meant to us. It's kept us alive. I mean,
and
bottom
we've been
line,
able to do these,
kept us alive.
and
And this week, the money, actually, Mark's sitting here right now,
25% of what we
25% of
raise
that will go to
Mark.
Now, and bearing in mind, musicians are not being paid. And so Mark actually, he's a full-time musician, an extraordinary musician, and we want to bless him as well. So what you give us, we give him 25% and another 37 pence on top of that.
Or rounded up.
Gone down. 50% and 200 quid earlier.
Shouldn't you be in the toilet somewhere?
It was going down all the time. This was probably fun notes.
So you can either give money through paypal.me/Jonathan Veira, all in one, or you can ask us for our bank account details, and we will happily give them to you. And you can put money into my bank account, and I can go off to Barbados without him this time, like he did with me.
Just to say finally about that, and we are, I've said, grateful, and we are. I've always said this community, the JV community, which is such a remarkable group of people around the world, that you've been so kind and generous. It doesn't need you to be hugely generous with it. We've got so many people listening out there that if you can only give a few pounds, give a few pounds, right? Lots of people giving a small amount will help, particularly this project, to get off the ground. There will be gold, platinum, gold, silver, bronze giving, and that Matt will enumerate that when he does the film, and what you get for what. And actually, it's going to be some real fun incentives we're going to put in for you getting this, that, and the other. You'd have a cup of tea with me and a scone or something like that, you know. And the second prize is a cup of tea and a scone with Mark. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. So, just to say that, and I'm going to finish with the Lord bless you. We're now over time officially. I just recorded this with Mark. It's in E flat. He picked up the banjo, frighteningly. It's been an absolutely splendid evening. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace. And give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and be gracious to you. Be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you, and give you his peace. and to give you his peace. See you next week.